cut it in half.
No sweat. All right, guys. Well, yeah, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm going to share my screen and we will get right on in. As you guys know, like the main driver of this session is just for you guys to have an opportunity to really give some feedback and update all of us on your progress. These are sessions that get, that do get recorded and then disseminated publicly. So yeah, anything that there's sort of secret source or any technical wizardry secrets that you don't want to share publicly, then just obviously be mindful of that. And yeah, so I'll get on with everything. Just get a quick nod. You guys can see my screen. It's kind of coming. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Okay. Oh, the date's wrong. It's the one thing I didn't update, is the date. We'll move on. And I didn't update the date here either. Oops. I will do that. Or if someone wants to jump into the slides on my side, perhaps Danny or TK can update it on the fly. But welcome, guys. It's the 30th of November. The session tonight is really just to recap on progress and ROI reports. We've started receiving some end of project reports as well. So we're just going to take a look at one of those, so people are getting a bit of a feeling and a sense of what we think makes for a good project end of project report. That there's a question that I want to ask you all in regards to sort of horizon scanning and what we can do to maybe help you further next year in regards to sort of supports. Obviously, we've got these incubator pathways that we are pursuing. So the Atala Prism Pioneers, Plutus Pioneers, the Boost Camps, and the IO Incubator. And then I don't know whether you guys were sort of keeping an eye on things, but obviously we've closed Fund 7 draft submission stage at the moment. And I was blown away by there being over 40 draft submissions to the Accelerators and Mentors Challenge. So I think that's yeah, that's a lot of food for thought. And if we can kind of collect some of your needs or wants and thoughts and feelings about this idea of what sort of supports that you need, that can really prepare us for some of these next steps when we're engaging with these sorts of folks as we go through. And then we're going to break out into the typical breakouts where you guys can then do your updates amongst each other. And then the folks on the call from IO will jump between the rooms and whatnot. We are going to keep our main room open as well, just for those of us that are on the call from Fund 6 that may be fairly new to Catalyst coordinator, and maybe there's some administrative or some logistics questions that you guys have. So we just want to make sure that we're able to keep some space available for you guys. Okay, I'm going to move on. Just to recap, we do this each time, but we have 2 reports, and some of you, I believe, are beginning to submit the KPI reports that have been sent out, or you've already submitted them, should I say, and we've reached the deadline. I think some of you had even jumped the gun and started submitting progress reports, which aren't due until when they get released next week. So just quick housekeeping, I would say, so that we don't have any administrative hiccups, it's best just to report on the report that's required rather than front running the reports that are coming up in a few weeks' time. I hope no one minds me sort of saying that, but it's just we wouldn't want to have to ask you to have to re-report because yeah, we're a couple more weeks have passed and maybe there's some more progress that you need to be capturing. But essentially, yeah, 2 reports. Those of you that are new to Catalyst Coordinator, and this is the first time that you've been funded under Fund 6, we'd said last time we met that this is a good opportunity for you to look at your KPIs and maybe re-review them and maybe revise them so that they're more practical and able to be reported on at the time, as opposed to only being able to capture data once your project is in the real world. So yeah, hopefully you've taken that on board, and yeah, we're happy to answer any questions on that maybe later on as well. Okay, a closeout process. So for those of you that are coming to the end of your process, your projects, there's two items. One's a written report, and it doesn't need to be chapter and verse, war and peace. Just needs to be a very short summary of what your project's return on intention was about, what were the kind of main deliverables, and then how you got on, any key lessons learned from the process, and we provide you with some guidance around that. It certainly shouldn't take you a long time to pull that information together. And then I think one of the other really, really useful pieces of collateral, not just for your project, but for you guys as part of the contributors to this great and growing community, is the video report. And this is really, I think, probably the most digestible format for helping communicate the outputs and outcomes of your projects to the community. And where, as I said, we're beginning to get some of these end of project reports and videos back in. I'm really, really happy with them. They're looking great. People are spending a bit of time thinking about that content in particular, how they want to communicate their ideas to the community at large. And as it says there, yeah, it's really just to outline your key achievements and deliverables and really show a demonstration of the project's outputs. I'm going to show an example of one. It's less than 3 minutes long, so hopefully you can get some insights as to what I wouldn't say good looks like. This is just an example of a project that's closed out. There's different shapes and sizes and fits to all of these sorts of things. But if you just bear with me while I just flip over to another tab. You guys can see this as well? Awesome. Let me know if you can hear it or if there's issue with sounds.
Hello and welcome to this closeout video of the Paper Wallet terminal. Here you can see the point of sale system with the vendor screen and the customer facing PayPad. This is where the payment provider is selected, creates a QR code for Game Changer Wallet, and with your camera on your phone you can scan this wallet, this QR code. And with the QR code imported into your wallet, you can confirm the transaction. Done. Okay, so on the point of sale system, there runs the wallet backend and the Cardano node, so it's scanning now for transactions. And Game Changer has sent this transaction to the blockchain, so it is now waiting for the payment to arrive. And when the payment is arrived, you can be sure that this transaction is completed. Takes a couple of seconds. Payment successful. Validate. You can print now your receipt. Okay, so the transaction is now completed and you can do your next one. Here's a screen for creating of a paper wallet. This is still in very alpha state, but here you can see that the communication is done with the wallet backend to create the mnemonic. And this is then added to the paper, to the receipt. This has to be expanded, of course, with the wallet address and the QR code. And I'm working with Game Changer to improve this and make it a complete solution. So here you can print the receipt, and the mnemonic is on the receipt here. Thanks for watching.
Cool. Well done. And congratulations to Martin. I'm not sure if you're here on the call, but yeah, well done for getting your project out there into the real world, and also reporting. I think that's a really, really good example of a good product demo or project demo. You know, the intention is that, you know, if we can imagine and forecast into 6 months into the future, we should have dozens and dozens and dozens of these. And these are going to serve to highlight the health of the ecosystem, right? And the growth of all of this. You know, we're working on creating some a landing page and maybe some dedicated Catalyst real estate that we are able to then celebrate all of this good stuff within. It's just all work in progress. But in the meantime, we are going to be making these videos may be available with the support of the community, and we're working through all that at the moment. Okay, sure. Bear with just a sec. Okay, that's done. Cool. Okay, so this is the first bit of interaction I want to have with you guys tonight. What I would really, really like you guys to do would be to add into the chat, you know, your wish list of sort of 3 areas, up to 3, not, you know, you don't have to have 3, up to 3 areas of support that you think you need, either now or within the next few weeks, certainly like in a short-term time horizon. Like, you know, like the example could be really looking for, you know, follow-on funding and finance or investment, or mentoring around a particular set of topics, or, you know, a range of things, or anything to call out, you know, some help that you need, X to Y to achieve Y. So if I could just ask you just to take a couple of minutes to have a think about this, and then add it into the chat. What we're trying to do here is essentially crowdsource as much insight about what we can we can maybe look to help you make better connections with other people within the team, the wider IO and Cardano, the employees, also IO or Emergo or CF teammates, and anything else really, hopefully to then inform some of the insights that we're receiving from you, and to help those that are proposing sort of programs of mentoring and support. This is going to be part of my efforts over the next few days. I'm diving into the proposals that were submitted, and also thinking about the programs that we've already got ongoing and how we can improve those processes. Nori, is that really mission critical? Or is that just a joke? I mean, the coordinator is the name for all of us coming together. We could call you all funded projects and proposers and whatnot, but there's something in alliteration. Cohorts, coordinator, cucumbers, I'm not sure.
There's just some confusion on my team as whether they should show up to this meeting or not, because it wasn't clear from the title what the meeting is for.
Oh, okay. So maybe we just need to do to make the information about what this meeting is all about a bit clearer. Would that be helpful?
Yeah, it could be helpful. For new people coming in, it could still be confusing. Coordinator doesn't seem to tie with what we do necessarily.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I'll take it on board that this yeah, the nomenclature around this might need some rebranding and a refresh in 2022 as well. Point well made. Okay, really appreciate all this, guys. Give it another minute or so. Anybody else wants to add in anything else? Oh, I'm going to answer that question for Rodolfo. Should we expect to receive feedback on your progress reports and metrics? To be honest with you, it's not really for us to tell you what we think of your KPIs, but I think when you're thinking about how you're going to be reporting on your progress and the things that you are measuring during the scope of your project, it's what makes sense to you more so than it does to us. I think, you know, probably more importantly, perhaps when you come together and we break out, there's always an opportunity to receive feedback from your peers, and that's to some extent the benefit of these meetings. And the coordinator is that you can coordinate amongst yourselves. I'm happy to have a look at your reports myself, Rodolfo, and I'm happy to provide you some feedback if you'd like. But it's certainly, there's no expectation, or it's not transactional. We're not here to tell you whether or not we think it's right or whether it's wrong. It's more that yeah, does it make sense within the context of your project as far as you can understand? I think that's more important. Unless Danny or Khaled have got any other views on that, perhaps.
I think I'd add to that. There is an option, certainly in the project progress report, if you specifically need some kind of help or support from Catalyst, it gives you the option to tell us that you need us to intervene in some way. And certainly we read through your comments, and if there is a comment that requires an action, we will try and follow it up. If for any reason we have followed it up, please contact us directly through the channels. If something is very urgent, obviously it's best to contact us directly. Just let us know that it's urgent, but we will react and respond where you've asked us to.
Yeah, case in point, and I hope he doesn't mind me calling this out. George Lovegrove had mentioned in his last reports that there were a couple of things that he was sort of being blocked by, and then Harris and I had a meeting with George this afternoon, and we're working through those items to unpack them, and then yeah, create a happy path to move forward. Okay, great. I'm really appreciate everybody's input here. This is really useful. And if anybody sees that there's opportunity for you guys individually to help other people with some of these call outs for support, then, again, that's really in the spirit of Catalyst and this coordinator, trying to help you guys to be empowered to solve each other's problems. It is certainly important to us, at the very least. Okay, I'm going to move on. Obviously, feel free to keep on adding details into the chat if you see fit. I just want to touch on the IO incubator. So for those colleagues here tonight that are developing a project that's Africa focused, we will be opening a process soon enough. That's going to be about getting access and eligibility to the IO incubator. We are running an Africa-focused boost camp currently, and it started yesterday, and that's available to all the Africa-focused projects. You can join the boost camp. We may well run another iteration of the Africa-focused boost camp in January, and if we do decide to go down that path, then all your projects, all you guys will be told a bit later on this week and given plenty enough time in which to apply. But in a nutshell, with the IO incubator, you're invited to participate in a boost camp. This is essentially a preliminary, like an initial pathway to get you guys all up to speed around entrepreneurship skills. And then this will also allow ISADIS, who are our partners that are delivering the IO Incubator, a good opportunity to get to know you and your projects whilst you're participating in that boost camp. And then over the course of that 3 to 4 week introductory entrepreneurship program, then they'll be making some judgments as to which of the teams will be joining the IO Incubator, as there's unfortunately a limited seats for that next year, and the intention is that we'll be accelerating 15 projects. And what that basically means is access to domain experts, strategic partners, and getting you investor ready. So yeah, so keep an eye out on your inboxes for more information about the Boost Camp, as well as also the IO Incubator. There's nothing to do right now other than, if you've already signed up to participate in the Boost Camp, come along, join the Boost Camp. Okay, moving on. So I'm conscious of time. So what we're going to be doing is similar to last time. We're going to break out into self-governing forums. How many people are on the call tonight? Oh, excuse me. We're going to have a similar sort of format as to what we had last time, which is 4 main rooms. So I think you need to self-determine which of the rooms you best fit in, and then join one of those breakout rooms. And then all we're asking you to do is, first of all, be mindful of everybody's time. So keep your updates to say 2 to 3 minutes, just to sort of talk about what progress you've made since the last time we met, anything that's upcoming in terms of milestones or key decision moments, or potentially any blockers and challenges that you're having. And then hand over to the next person in your room. We ask that the sessions are recorded. How many have we got? We got Danny, TK. We think we should have, is there 5 of us, Danny, or is there just 4 IOG people tonight?
4, I think.
4. Okay, so someone's going to nominate themselves to be a co-host for the last room, I believe. And then you're going to be responsible for recording your session, whereas TK, Khaled, and Danny will jump into one of the other 3 rooms and begin that recording process. But we'll figure that one out in just a moment. And then once the session's ended, and for that one lucky person that was doing the recording, if you could just make sure that you send the recording to the catalyst@iohk.io email address, we'll pick it up. Okay, so Marek, you've got a question.
I can record.
Can?
I'm from IOG and I record.
Great, that's awesome. Yes, yes, you can. You can indeed. Okay, so Danny, have we got the breakout room set up by any chance?
I am working on it.
Okay. Does anybody, whilst Danny's doing that, anybody want to call out anything in particular or ask anything of the entire group?
I have a quick question. This is Mercy. I am wondering, so for the closeout, we are currently actually closing out 2 projects, and both of them are community outreach projects. So the sort of the written narrative makes sense. We were wondering about the video, because, you know, like when we look at the Martin Zone, it's sort of a, you know, sort of a product demonstration. So it makes total sense. But we were wondering if for, you know, community outreach, education type projects, whether we should still do the video. Like, what do you think? I mean, either ways, it's okay, but we're just wondering
We
why.
still would like you to do the video, and the idea would be, it was just for you guys to, you know, even if it's a piece to camera and you're maybe just celebrating your achievements during the project, then that's absolutely fine. You know, as I said, we will provide you with a bit of a framework from which to work from in terms of the sorts of questions that you're looking to answer in the video. But it's essentially just a rundown of what is it? I take this from Charles, right? Tell them what you're going to do it, and then tell them what you did, right?
Right.
Right. That's kind of what we want you to do, just to really celebrate and talk about all of your great effort and work. Good question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, so actually just to respond to that video question, because I'm kind of dealing with that myself. Hiring a good videographer is not cheap. I just spoke to us today. And I'm curious whether other people have actually yet started to put in, has anybody seen people actually budgeting for a videographer to do promo videos in their grant applications, and whether that's if that's frowned upon, or I know you can ask whatever you want, but I'm just curious people's opinion. My question. And then secondly was Stephen, our Proposers Catalyst Circle representative, doing a great job gathering stuff in our Git book, and I really like that format. I wasn't quite sure that I wasn't at the beginning, or maybe I missed it. You asked everybody to post these questions, and there's a string of really good ones. And I'm hoping that Stephen is able to, or somebody is able to help Stephen gather the right answers to that, and they end up at the Git book. It would be my request, please.
Yeah, sure. Happy to provide you the frame that we're providing to projects that are coming to the end of their tenure. But ultimately, it's kind of like, what are your key deliverables? What KPIs did you have? How did you get on with achieving those? Key lessons learned, next steps, that kind of thing, really. I mean, you know, just to sort of respond to the question about the video, I mean, we're not, you know, we don't expect people to have really high quality production values. Obviously, it's as much or as a little production that as you want to do. But I think, yeah, I don't anticipate that people are budgeting to get professional videographers engaged. That's not to say you can't. I'm just saying my instincts are that most people won't do that. But again, you know, this is some sort of marketing collateral, promo collateral that should be useful to your project beyond the scope of just this reporting process, right? So yeah, keen to sort of see if anybody else has got any other views on that.
And I would probably just give it like an anchor to it. Think of like as the MVP version of what you would be presenting during the 5-minute slots, which are available during the town hall, right? Sometimes it's just people recording on their camera. Sometimes it's just people screen sharing their computer screen, that sort of stuff. How far you take it, that's individually up to you, because as Chris says, it could be another tool, another thing to leverage in your marketing, in your further development of your projects down the line. But I think as an MVP version, it's totally fine. Something along the lines what we generally see during the town hall presentations as such. Also, breakouts are open.
Amazing, awesome. And I mean, you know, I think I'm not sure what Martin used, but it could have just been an iPhone to record that demo, right? Or any smartphone with a camera. Yeah. Peter, was that your question? Was it?
It was, yeah. That's a very helpful. Thanks, guys. And then I don't want to. My actual real question was of the FAQ, essentially an FAQ for everybody just posted a bunch of questions, right? So we're missing the answers now. So where's the answer? When can we expect answers, and where can we look for them? And you know, to be determined, I'm sure. But please don't forget that. Or get back to us on that.
FAQ is one of my priorities this week across voting, proposers, CAs, and then coordinator. So yeah, it's a watch this space. Hopefully in the next few days we should have revised drafts to be able to share with everybody.
Super, thank you. Okay, going to breakout. Thanks.
Very welcome, Lucio. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
All good. I have two.
Oh, we just lost you, my man.
Sorry.
Can hear you now.
Okay. The first question is about the KPI. because we have a proposal which basically is about it is composed by free tools, free projects. So basically, it's a bit tricky to track all the tools with just free KPIs. So the question is, it is good to split them and present like 12 KPIs, or it is too much? And the second question is about the closing of the projects, because basically we have one proposal, which is the next part of a previous funded proposal. It makes sense to close it we have to stick to the proposals funded, or we can just, I don't know, close it later when we will deliver the second part of the proposal.
Yeah, good question. I think we should probably pick that up outside of just having everybody here, because it's really nuanced to your situation. I mean, my preference is that we try to get as much of this end of project content as quickly as possible. But then that's just my view. That's just because I want to be able to beat the drum that everybody's doing great work, right? And be able to fly that flag for you. But if it makes sense to just hold it back, then then if there's a decent rationale and reason for it, then everybody's reasonable here. So why don't we just pick that up offline, and offline. How do we pick it up offline? Everything's online. And then but you know what I mean. Let's pick that up outside of the group, and we'll just see what's achievable.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome. And then with that, guys, I would say if everybody wants to break up into one of these rooms, where it makes sense, and then I'm going to hang in the main room if there's any general questions that need to be answered. And then can someone that's going to be going into scaling governance nominate themselves as so we can highlight you as a co-host to allow you to record. Or actually, Marek might be able to join that room, thinking about it.
I'm wondering if it needs to be adjusted, because lots of people have gone into community outreach and no one's gone into scaling governance yet.
Okay.
I know there's a few now. I think I'll just go to scaling governance as well.
Yeah, I'm not too sure which one I fit into, but I'm going to go for scaling governance because there's less people.
Yeah. Good idea. We try to do this so rather than being like a room of two people in just their in their individual challenges, we'll try to group them together somewhat. Marek, are you still in the main room? I'm going to take that as a no. Hey, Martin, welcome. We just showed your end of project video. Congratulations.
Yeah, I saw it. Cool. Very
awesome.
cool.
Awesome. So I'm going to just hang here so I can answer any general questions for those that are new. But otherwise, I would suggest that if everybody can break into one of these 3 rooms so that you can 4 rooms, should I say, so you can do your updates, that'll be great. So if you don't know how to do that, you just go down to the breakout rooms at the bottom, select which one you want to join, and then away you go. I might be left here really lonely.
My understanding is that for Fund 6, we are to remain in this room, right?
No, not necessarily, Fred. Just more like if you've got any specific questions that you're a little bit unsure about, in terms of sort of logistics or the administration, or what is expected, then I'm here to answer those questions.
Okay. Which room will be better fitting for deeds? Is it scaling governance?
This is for WADA related projects, right?
It's mostly for digital identity. Yes.
Okay. For digital identity, I'd say that's kind of dApps and integrations. I would say.
Okay.
See you soon, Fred.
See you. Bye.
Cool. Javier and Caroline, anything that you wanted to ask?
Not really. How is scaling governance defined?
Just, I guess, around distributed decision making. There's been a couple of challenges over the past couple of funds related to that. Auditability, I think, is relevant there as well. Maybe you could just remind me of your project, and it might be I can direct you.
It's Wire Collective. We're building a real fi thing. Which room would you suggest?
For Wire, I mean, bear with me just 1 second. I will give you my idea. Oh yeah, probably scaling governance. I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm going there. Thank you.
Welcome. I'll probably join you shortly.
Nice.
And Javier, are you with us?
Hi, sorry, I was just in a listening mode. I should have changed to the developer ecosystem.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll see you shortly. I'll jump between all the rooms.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're welcome. No worries. Hey, Rodolfo. How are you?
Yeah, I think I hit the wrong button. Going back again.
It's okay. Everything okay with you?
Yeah, everything okay. Yeah. So the thing I question for the KPI is if, because this is the first time, I don't know if they are okay, if there's just the way that you're looking for, but it's okay. I understand your answer, so it's fine.
Hey, I mean,
So-
listen, I'm always available to give, you know, some input, of course. Listen, if you want, how about we do this? I mean, maybe now's not the perfect time to do it, but do you have some time like tomorrow or like Thursday, and we can just have a little bit of a look? No, we can spend a bit of time together.
Yes, okay. I try to find a time, but it's fine. I find my KPIs. I think it's fine because it's development process, so it's tracking the sprints, so should be fine. But I just knowing if maybe a report or something is not what you're expecting.
Well, I mean, like for example, I mean, I think with the development projects, yeah, you're right. Like you can have your own milestones and like, you know, you're trying to achieve those milestones, but then maybe there's something around, you know, I mean, outside of the scope of just the core development, is there anything that you're measuring beyond that? Like, is there anything that's sensible to be measured? Like, I don't know, like it's really difficult without having them in front of me. I'll tell you
Yeah,
what
I
I'll do. Let me have a look at them, and then let's have a conversation. I'll drop you an email, and then we'll figure
Sure.
out, or I'll just reply on email, and if you want to get together, then we can do that.
Fine. I send it to you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, thanks. Go back to the room.
Hey Josiah, how are you? Josiah, are you with us? Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. How you doing?
All right. I'm good. I'm good. Good evening from here.
Good evening to you too. So all we were doing, I don't know whether you were here for the start of the meeting, but we've just broken out into one of 4 breakout rooms where everybody's just giving their updates now. Just a couple of minutes on what it is you've achieved since the last time we met, what's coming up, and you know, any sort of challenges or anything that you want to call out that you need some help with. So there's 4 rooms: dev ecosystem, dApps and integrations, communities outreach, and then scaling governance. So yeah, feel free to choose one of those, or if you've got any specific questions, you know, in terms of the logistics and the administration around Catalyst and all of this, then I'm sort of here to answer any questions that you might have.
All right. Thank you, Chris. I'll be joining room 1, dev ecosystem immediately. Let me.
Okay, my man. Good to see you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Hello. Just passing through. I was kicked out of the meeting. Go back to my breakout session.
How you doing? You all right?
I am. Just 2 seconds. Yeah, good, good. Still actively speaking to a lot of VCs and still waiting back from to hear from Origin. I sent them some updates in the weekend.
Yeah.
Busy times.
They're good folks. I'll give Jason a nudge as well today. I'll speak to him. We're in touch every day, so I'll give him a little prod.
Any tips or tricks to approach them or others?
I mean, listen, I think you guys have got a very compelling offer already. I think if you, and I forget because from your information, but if you haven't already sort of shown who's already committed, I think that's a good carrot on a stick to dangle. You know, people don't want to be the first, but they certainly don't want to be the last. So yeah, so being able to give them confidence that there's already people committed and whatnot, and you got a really strong roadmap. I think it's great. So I don't think you're going to have a problem. Put it that way. And then
yeah, cool. Thanks.
It's not the right forum necessarily, but I'm obviously conscious about the C fund and what's going on there. And again, it's probably not the right time here and now, but maybe let's have a conversation during the week, and if there's something I can do, then I'll do my best.
Okay, I'll send you an email.
Cheers, my man. How you doing,
Bye.
Simon? Okay.
Thanks, Em.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Hey, Michael. Is that right?
He was just flitting between rooms.
Oh, are the breakout rooms going on?
Yes. So have you just joined us? Have I
Yes.
Okay. So we're just at that moment now to break everybody up into one of those 4 rooms, and then just provide your update. Obviously, yeah. Did you have it in the diary for the meeting to start now?
No, I'm just incredible at it. I was at the Timberlabs playground.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and I need it kind of for another project. So.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, listen, I'm always blown away about how, you know, I think I'm busy, and then I think about other people that have got their full-time jobs, plus then all the projects that they're running for this, plus all the stuff that you just do voluntarily, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean,
how it is.
I feel like everyone is doing so much here. It's really crazy. Like Patrick, for example. I mean, I don't have a full-time job, so I can do this full-time.
Mm-hmm.
But and then I'm doing some. But Patrick has a full-time job, and then he's doing, I don't know, 3 projects, and yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, hats off to people that can do it. You know, I mean, listen, I think most of us work on this stuff at all hours anyway, but when you've got that 9 to 5 commitment on top of everything.
Yes, exactly.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so feel free just to dive into one of the rooms, whichever makes most sense to you. Obviously we haven't done it by challenges, because otherwise it gets too nuanced at this stage.
Did I miss anything like essential today?
Well, actually, the only other thing to say is that I asked everybody to just to put in the chat any sort of like 3 things that you need support with now or in the next few weeks. And part of this is to sort of inform maybe how we tweak these incubator pathways, or if there's anybody that you're trying to reach in terms of IOG or Emergo or CF or whoever, or whatever that might be. If I'm kind of calling out, or if you're able to call that out, then I'm able to try and feed that back. You're
Hey guys, I'm jumping out. I have to jump for another call now. So
Good to
talk
see
soon.
you.
Thanks
All
very
right.
much.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
See you soon.
Bye, Simon.
Bye, Yoram. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's more like, you know, if you said to me, oh, we need help on tokenomics, or like we need additional financing support for when the project finishes to scale, or this kind of thing, like or you know, we're preparing to do our IXO or ISPO, whatever it might be, you know, like or any sort of just topic areas, or just anything really. Like I'm just kind of trying to get a bit of a temperature check on what are the sorts of supports that people feel they need more help with. And then I can take that and digest it and then feed it, and then try and feed it back up, and then try and get some movement on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like maybe a few things we need. Can I, you know, kind of get back to you, write to you per email or something?
Of course, man. Yeah, of course, please. I mean, you know, I just did it and put everybody on the spot and said, you know, give us your top 3 things that you need some help with. A lot of people probably need a bit more time just to sort of come up with things that, if it's not most immediate, then hopefully it's not a deal breaker for you and you're not about to like fall over tomorrow. But you know, give it some thought and then just feed it back to me.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'll definitely
just trying to figure out what are the sorts of things that maybe we need to think about early 2022 to sort of start addressing for you guys.
All right, then I'm gonna jump into one of the rooms, and thank you.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Same place, same back channel. Hey, Advo. Can you hear me? Advo, are you there?
Chris.
Hi.
So
Oh,
we've come to the main room.
Oh, hi, everybody. I'm just taking all of your feedback and putting it into a neat spreadsheet that I can share with Stephen.
Hey, Stephen, are you here? Oh, you don't mind me like saying, hey, send this to Stephen, send this to Stephen. That's kind of your job as our Catalyst Circle representative, right? Or am I making the wrong assumption?
No, that's right.
No, that's
Sweet,
fine. I'm obviously I'm only one person, so I might play some catch up here. But
sure, yeah,
yeah. But so sure, I'm just trying to gather as much feedback and problem sensing from funded cohort as much as possible. So yeah.
But like in Telegram and today, I was saying like, oh, this should go in our Git book, and I don't want to keep signing it for work you're not meant to do. So I just wanted to clarify that that's what you're expecting.
No, that's great. I mean, any comments on the Git book from IOG or for the community is really helpful. So I'm just trying to help the community as much as possible with frequently asked questions and liaise with IOG as best as possible. Yeah,
I love it. It's great. You're doing a fantastic job. So I guess the preferred route would be to actually post PRs to the Git book, right? Like I'm just being lazy by just texting and messaging.
So
is that right? Would you like us?
Sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, if the preferred process, I'm assuming from your side of things would be if we actually posted formal PRs on GitHub to the Git book, right? So then it's a documented trail of and comments that can, is that right? Or like, is this okay? Like, are you okay with just collecting stuff? Because it's just, you know how it goes. We're all super busy doing a million things, right? So it's like, that would just be one more task to go do, right? So just let us know how you want to handle this though.
There's on the Git book, on the frequently asked question, there is a link to a GitHub repository for the Catalyst coordinator, which is called feedback. And if you know GitHub, you can go there and post issues for feedback there. There's also the last town hall, I published an email address for Catalyst coordinator at Circle. And that's the way to contact the Catalyst coordinator. By the way, the Catalyst coordinator, I mean the Catalyst coordinator Circle representative, sorry. So that's the best way to contact me, or simply on Telegram. Although Telegram has that thing where you're sometimes playing catch up because everything scrolls up very quickly. So it's quite easy to miss messages sometimes. So if in doubt, message me on Telegram.
Great.
Okay. Has Eric with us by any chance? No, he's not. Okay. Stephen, I had Eric also sort of raised, just to sort of call it out since you're here. I mean, I'm going to share this spreadsheet with you anyway. But Eric Helms had called out, that he was suggesting that we need a line of communication or process for us to implement changes to Catalyst that we are funded for. So if there's a category to update X in Catalyst, that we have an actual process for those changes.
Yeah, that you mean Eric Helms was scat down. Yeah, so
yeah.
I
think it's a certain decision, really, isn't it, as to how we implement things. But we certainly need those channels of communication.
We do. I mean, as you may know, there are, if people could go and read the minutes of the last circle meeting, there are discussions of new initiatives around audibility in Catalyst. I'm not sure if there's going to be, when there's going to be announcements from IOG on that, Chris. So, but certainly myself and Eric and Joe Allen of the Audibility Challenge team, George Lovegrove, we're all working together on audit issues and putting forward a proposal like the audit circle. We basically want everyone who is interested in those issues to work together and then to collaborate with IOG as best we can. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got time in the diary for Thursday, haven't we, to go through some of that. Just as an agenda point for Thursday, maybe we can, if I can empower you, Stephen, to basically run through those notes from the last circle meeting, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to cover. Yeah, so I won't, it's probably, here is not the right time to talk about it, maybe, because it would just monopolize the conversation. So, yeah.
Maybe you and I can pick up tomorrow and we'll try and carve out some time in the next sort of 48 hours to, even if it's just like a short meeting, just to sort of review some of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a meeting with Harrison Dorr as well. So, but yeah.
Is that around?
Of course. Yeah, sorry, you're breaking up. My connection's not that good. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Was the meeting with Harrison Dorr to discuss auditability?
It was to discuss oversight of the new initiative from IOG on governance, which is discussed in the circle meeting. The minutes of the circle meeting have been published. So I'd advise people to go and read them.
Sure.
Or watch the recording, because there's a presentation by Harris of new initiatives coming out of IOG. So I just don't want to talk for IOG.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So, yeah. Okay.
I mean, feel free if you've got the minutes. The minutes to hand.
Yeah, sure. I'll just
pop them in.
Let
the
me
chat.
just do that now. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just grab that. Hold on. I'll get them.
No worries. And then just as a point of matter, just keen to understand this sort of breaking out into sort of smaller group rooms. Is that going okay? Do we find that that's sort of working reasonably well still?
Yep, I think that works fine. I still think it's a good idea to mix people up a bit more, because I went into one that probably was a bit different from what I would normally go to, and it was great to cross-pollinate with other proposals.
And listen, I think that's a great idea. I think it's always worthwhile dipping into sort of thing, other forums to learn about who's doing what. One of the things that we are talking about, and actually the Tala team are going to do some of this already. So in my previous life, I used to set up speed networking sessions amongst innovators. And so I wonder whether we should, and it's not going to happen between now and the end of the year, but we can probably do it for January, we have some speed dating sessions for, you know, the funded cohorts, where we sort of convene a time and a place, and then we speed date. You know, we spend 5 minutes each 5 minutes, or each 10 minutes we spend in pairs, and then flip and cycle, and then, you know, over the course of a couple of hours you meet 20 odd projects and learn about each other's projects, but more one-to-one rather than in a group.
I wonder if we create that, but instead of having focused out breakout rooms, just have numbered breakout rooms, and then let that be an organic process at the end, where like if I meet up with someone that I want to chat more to, we can go to another breakout room and discuss the idea, because then we've got this forum already. Because I think another thing to come to might be challenging, but if we've already got this sort of forum where all the funded proposals are hanging out already, it could be a useful place to just morph this a little bit into that direction as well.
I see. So take this session, but then just create a sort of space for people just to chew the fat and just get to know each other
afterwards. Yeah, I mean, we're doing it here in this main room at the moment, but like create that space so that people can continue and take out a breakout room if they want afterwards, or yeah, I think that would be a good idea. But what I was saying is that instead of having the named breakout rooms, just having, you know, alpha, beta, gamma breakout rooms or something, and let people self-assign into them and present.
Do we add a theme to that in some way, do you think, in terms of what people are looking for?
Sorry, what was that? I missed the first bit of that.
Somebody unmuted by accident. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
I fixed that up.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so I think it's nice to cross mix so that we're not always talking to the same people. I think I suggested that we could cross mix random challenges in the past, but I think the other thing that going forward is the challenge teams are going to start taking this on a bit. Is that part of the idea?
I mean, hopefully, it is a work in progress, and there's a balance between, you know, overcommitting people so that they have to show up every 2 weeks.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, yeah, the challenge teams would certainly help to sort of shepherd some of this conversation.
I think we'll find out, like, after Fund 7 funding, how that's going to roll, I guess. But I can see this kind of, you know, a few challenge teams go, say, I'm in meeting room 1 and I'm in meeting room 1. Come to us if you want to talk about this sort of thing, but have it a bit more randomly sprinkled through so that you can cross pollinate ideas.
Yeah, and I can imagine a scenario maybe where this session for the challenge teams being managing it maybe doesn't happen on a Tuesday at this time, right? Maybe it's you guys as a group in that cohort of the challenge team or the challenge just, you know, organically decide on a different time and date or place to meet. Again, it's an evolving process, right? And we'll certainly get there. Matthias, you had your hand up.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to confirm that it was okay for me to jump the gun on the progress reports, right? Sure. Because I put in 2 earlier. And for win-win, right, we had quite a bit of things to report, including some of the hiccups that we have experienced. And of course, I shared that with TKA, particularly about IOG's partners and the lack of accountability when that had really negative effects on us because, you know, they didn't hold up their deal of their side of the deal. So yeah, I just wanted to raise that as early as possible. So I hope that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's fine. And I mean, I think it's right to call out where you've had some bumps in the road, particularly when it's not your fault. And it's because of something either that we haven't done or, you know, close partners haven't done and whatnot. On that sort of stuff, my advice is just always just come to us as soon as possible so that we can figure it out with you.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
I think the message you gave earlier was you'd rather hold off on the progress reports till the actual period of reporting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we'd have had 50 teams submit 2 weeks early, I would suggest that we report. We wait until the reports, but there's just like, it's the exception to the rule is 1 or 2 people that have, for whatever reason, had to get something to us sooner rather than later. I believe you're traveling quite a bit on you, Matthias, and that's causing some. Is that right? Was that, or was that someone else? Sorry, I might have. Yeah, I'm putting one and one together and adding up to 17. But yeah, I'd say just hold off, Phil, is the answer to that question, just until. I mean, it's next week. The reports will come next week, or is it this week? Next week, 1 and 2. I mean, guys, I don't see any reason for you all to hang around if you don't want to. You're more than welcome to jump off. If you've done your reports and you've updated in the group, then we'll see you again soon, and let us know of anything that you need support with.
Nice one. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Phil.
Cheers, Phil. See you, Rodolfo. Cheers, Sean.
Bye-bye. Hasta luego.
Cheers,
Later.
bye.
And it's the 4.
Whoa.
4 musketeers. Let's stop the recording.
Yeah, stop that. I always forget that.